The following podcast is a part of RadioMisfits.com. The Mr. Nailsin Show is brought to you by me, Night Knight. Head over to IndiePlanet.com to get your copy of the Night Knight comic book so that you can actually see me in action in my one-man war on crime. Shut up, Boo! God damn it! I do the announcements. Oh, God. No one gives a crap about Boo.
I'm party too, man. Tell him about me. False advertising. Yeah,
stupid idiot.
I help Night Knight fight crime, and we blow stuff up and do a lot of damage. and of course, people get mad at us when we do. But
it's a war on crime, and in every war, there's collateral damage.
I mean, well, I guess it isn't one-man war because
exactly.
It's a two-man war on crime.
All right, anyway, we're running out of time. Don't miss this opportunity to get your hands on the adventures of Night Knight
and Boobo.
The Night Knight comic book available at IndiePlanet.com. And now it's time for the Mr. Nailsin Show. This is a Nailsin News Bulletin. Final report on fatal bear attack released. All right. So the final investigative report into the mauling of a Florida man by a black bear provides harrowing new details of last year's fatal attack on the 89-year-old victim. The gruesome killing of Robert Markle by a 257-pound predatory black bear is detailed in witness statements, evidence, and necropsy photos, and incident reports compiled by the Florida Fish and Wildlife Conservation Commission. Following the recent closing of the state probe, agency records were released to the Smoking Gun in response to a public records request. The incident, Florida wildlife officials said, was the first fatal black bear attack in the state's histoire. Really? All right. Markle was set upon at a 4-acre family compound in the Collier County community, adjacent to Big Cypress National Preserve, a sprawling freshwater swamp in southern Florida. The property contained 3 mobile homes arranged in a semicircle in a common area across from the residences. The land, according to investigators, exists within a unique ecosystem of rare flora, fauna, and wildlife. Unfortunately, part of that wildlife is black bears. Markle, who was 6 feet 1 inch tall and weighed only 100 pounds, lived in a 28 by 8 single wide Jayco travel trailer that had seen better days. On its elevated attached porch was a worn couch, grill, shop vac, and an aluminum walker. On the night of May 4th, the May 4th bear attack, Markle, who family members called Paw Paw, was sitting outside in a folding lawn chair at the front end of his RV smoking a 305 cigarette. Here comes the bear. Around 7:30 p.m., Markle's 66-year-old daughter walked the 50 feet between their trailers and handed him his evening medication. It was their nightly routine. Sue Story, so her name is Sue Story, told investigators, and her father usually took his pills with dinner. Inside Markle's trailer, leftover baked beans from lunch were atop the stove, and the TV was blaring, which was common due to the octogenarian's hearing impairment. After saying goodnight, Story returned to her trailer, expecting Markle to soon do the same, as it was close to sunset. When questioned by the Florida wildlife people, personnel, Story was adamant her father would never be outside after dark because he was afraid of bears. Around 7 a.m. the following day, Story was taking trash to the curb when she heard her dog Lola barking. she looked back to see a bear dashing from the woods and pouncing on the 20-pound miniature pincher. In response to Story's screams for help, a relative ran outside and threw a vehicle battery at the bears. Struck by the battery, the bear retreated into the woods, leaving behind the canine, who had succumbed to her injuries. After her dog was attacked, Story went to check on her father. The home's front door was open, but Markle was not inside the trailer, which appeared to have been ransacked, as seen in an evidence photo. A set of bear claws had torn into the screen door. Panicked, relatives called 911 and reported Paw missing. According to dispatch logs, family members said they can't find their grandpa from the camper, and the camper is torn all apart. Then an update. They just found Grandpa's pants and shirt in the woods. Okay. According to an initial Florida wildlife assessment, Markle was believed to be sleeping in residence when the bear attacked. In the spring, since natural food sources are generally limited and predatory attacks on livestock are more common, Florida wildlife guys concluded it was highly possible the man may have been attacked by a bear. Following a blood trail, it did not take investigators long to locate Markle's body under a forest canopy. In a thick cypress strand about 475 feet from the trailer, Florida agents located a cache site containing the victim's remains. Markle's body had largely been covered with dirt and leaf litter, a common practice of predators seeking to hide prey from rivals or scavengers, or was concealing the crime. This action is consistent with black bear behavior, as they prefer to feed in seclusion and often drag large prey to concealment, where they sometimes cache the remains of larger carcasses. Markle's body was bent in half, and its condition was consistent with predation by a black bear, as the skin was torn from his flesh. Oh my God. And the bear fed heavily on the face, neck, chest, groin, and arms. The discovery of Markle's remains triggered a forensic investigation at the same time. Florida wildlife officials hunted for the black bear in short order. One bear was captured in a trap near the family compound and later euthanized. That means they killed it. 2 other bears were euthanized by gunshot by a Florida wildlife lieutenant who fired an AR-10 rifle from a forestry stand. Necropsies identified bear number 2 as responsible for Markle's death. So it took 3 of them they had to get rid of, but they got the right one, you know. The 15-year-old animal's stomach contained hair, human remains, plastic, cigarette butts, and grapes. The extensive probe into the fatal attack, analyzing everything from arterial spray to paw prints to bear scat, oh, that's nice, disproved the family's initial report that Grandpa was asleep at the time of the attack. Investigators determined that while Markle was outside smoking, the bear climbed unnoticed onto the porch, which was attached to the broadside of the trailer. Possibly habituated to the blaring TV, bear number 2 was not deterred by the loud noises as he used his paws to rip open the front screen door. Gee, so there's, the front porch thing, and the bear just went on through there. Only feet away, but hard of hearing, Markle did not alert to the bear, ransacking his trailer and knocking over and eating his bean dinner, leaving paw prints throughout the house as he searched for sustenance. Well, he got the beans. I guess that wasn't enough. Upon departing the trailer, the bear walked towards the property's common area, appearing suddenly to Robert, who sat in his chair lighting a cigarette. Startled Markle triggered the bear's predatory attack response as he attempted to stand and run. The bear, investigators concluded, then delivered a powerful blow or bite to the neck, killing him. Yeah, well, they always say remain very still, you know. I mean, they're assuming he got up and tried to run away. What if he just sat there and said, oh, crap, and the bear still killed him, you know? Anyway, the bear dragged Markle's body to the cache site, a small upland hammock with closed canopy that provided enough safety and concealment to feed in isolation. In order to minimize bear-human interaction and maximize public safety, state officials noted that it was illegal in Florida to feed or approach the animals. Well, in addition to securing food, garbage, and recycling, citizens were advised to report bear activity to your neighbors and the Florida Wildlife Club. I don't know, I forget what the C stands for. Bear sightings were a regular occurrence at the family compound. In fact, early on the morning Markle was discovered missing, his granddaughter, Cheyenne, heard branches snapping in the woods, but did not see anything. In a written statement, the teenager told investigators she didn't think much of it because the bear is usually out, so I got in my car and went to school. Another family member told of bears being at their house nearly every night, including a big male around 400 pounds who was bullying and chasing off other bears in the area. Well, that's too bad he didn't chase off them. But then again, he's probably just as deadly. I don't know. He added that a bear had been on his front porch the night before. Additionally, reinforced garbage cans on the site all contained claw marks and gouges. Yeah, you know, you should have been reporting this a lot sooner. Your whole area is being invaded by, you know, monsters. Despite these worrisome encounters, the FWC summer report noted that its in-house database showed only one bear-related call for service in the vicinity of the compound during the 2 years preceding the fatal 2025 bear attack. That call, however, did not involve a lurking predator. Instead, FWC was alerted to a dead bear. Oh, jeez. On the shoulder of State Road 29, a two-lane highway adjacent to the property where Robert Markle spent the final years of his life. Yeah. So there's a powerful lesson here, isn't there? Yeah. When you've got bears messing around your property, you need to call the authorities. At the very least shoot it yourself, you know, because you're not going to win a fist fight with a bear. Yeah, you're not. So anyway, that's a really sad story there. Geez Louise.
This has been a Nailsin News Bulletin. You're listening to the Mr. Nailsin Show here on RadioMisfits.com. Next time on My Brother's Keeper.
Come on. Damn it. This game cheat. I totally had that. That computer cheats on me. What?
Daryl!
Uh-oh.
Daryl!
What?
Oh, damn, you disgusting degenerate.
What I do now?
I just got back from the shop, changing the oil, when I reached for a work rag. Some people say I'm intolerant, and I'm quick to judge. But goddamn it, there are some lines you don't cross.
Well, we know he's simple-minded, and of course, like all men, he has needs, and, you know, he made a mistake, sure,
Oh,
but...
no.
but you
No,
gotta-
Sally. No, damn it, no. God damn it, Sally. Can a man have his wife have his back for once? Just once? Oh, Lord, help me. Oh, Lord. So there I was, changing the oil, and I got some in my face, and I'm reaching around for a work rag, and my hand grabs a pile of them, and I reach for it, and suddenly, what do I got? A face full of rotten old cum.
Well, Earl,
Shut up. And answer me this. Did you jerk off into my work rags?
Yes, I did. I'm sorry.
What am I going to do with you? What am I going to do?
How much can one family take? Find out on the next My Brother's Keeper on TLC. This is a Nailsin News Bulletin. Man on snack break at Walmart goes on deadly stabbing spree after getting rejected by a woman. Targeted colleagues aboard work bus. Okay, well, boy, he's just having a bad day all around. So anyway, a charter bus stabbing spree unfolded at a Walmart in Alabama, with a man allegedly targeting multiple colleagues, killing one in a knife attack after he was rejected by a female co-worker. Pierre Eskew, 35, of Louisiana, damn it, one of our own, was on a snack break at a Walmart in Bessemer when a brewing beef between him and a 22-year-old colleague, Daryl Sutton, turned deadly aboard their work bus. Bessemer Police Sergeant C. Selman told Fox affiliate WBRZ said that Eskew and Sutton had been in a dispute for several hours, possibly days, over a female co-worker who rejected Eskew after he made romantic advances toward her. So I'm guessing Sutton won out. You know, she'd rather Sutton. And she eschewed Eskew. The two security guards were headed back to Louisiana. They're security guards. They were headed back to Louisiana with about 40 colleagues after working at Bonnaroo Music and Arts Festival in Manchester, Tennessee. All right. Their bus stopped at Walmart for a snack break. Oh, it was making me think they were Walmart employees. Okay. So the bus stopped at Walmart for a snack break when Eskew, looking askew at Sutton, allegedly pulled out a knife and stabbed Sutton to death and injured 3 others. At approximately 1:13 p.m., Bessemer police officers and Bessemer Fire Department personnel responded to reports of a disturbance on the bus, to say the least. Upon arrival, officers discovered that 4 individuals had suffered stab wounds during an altercation. One victim sustained critical injuries and was transported to UAB Hospital in Birmingham for treatment. The remaining victims also received medical treatment. Police later updated the Facebook post to report that Sutton had succumbed to his injuries. The condition of the other victims was not clear. Well, stab wounds. They've got stab wounds. The company that Eskew and Sutton were working for, Fest Security, declined to comment when contacted by Alabama.com, I guess, AL.com. The other colleagues were picked up by a second bus and brought back to Louisiana. Well, I'm fine with Eskew not coming back to Louisiana after that sort of thing, you know. All over a girl who said, yeah, not interested. So I guess he thought, well, if I could get rid of Sutton, then she'd have to choose me. I don't think he was thinking this through. Yeah, sounds like Eskew is quite the knothead. So anyway, that's unfortunate, but at least he's not coming back here, you know. I don't need any of that crap. God, they went all the way to this. Oh, yeah, because they were security working for that. I guess so. All right, that makes sense. So anyway, there you go. 2 guys chasing the same girl. She picked one. The other guy lost it and thought, well, I'll kill the other guy. And, you know, it doesn't really work that way. I guess in the wild it does, you know. But, yeah, she's not likely to date. But wouldn't that be something? Later on, she decides, well, now I'm really into him. She visits him in prison. marries him and all that sort of stuff. And then, boy, if that's the way it goes, and he's like, see, it worked. Probably not, though.
This has been a Nailsin News Bulletin.
And now it's time for another episode of The One That Got Away. I remember it like it was yesterday, when passion got the better of me, and I confessed my deepest, secret, inner feelings.
Oh, Bobby, has anyone ever told you that you look like Donny Osmond?
Well, yeah, every girl I meet. Yeah.
Oh, Bobby, they're beneath you. Don't you see they're nothing but whores?
Well, they soon will be when I'm done with them.
Oh, Bobby, can't you see? Don't you know? Can't you see what you and I could be?
What are you saying? Get your hands off of me, you filthy mo! I swear, you ever lay another finger on me and I'll break every bone in your body, you understand?
Sometimes I wonder if he was hurting as much as I. But life was as it was, and we parted ways. People often ask me if I regret confessing my true feelings. And I say no, it's better to have tried than to never have tried at all. I'm afraid for me, Bobby will remain the one that got away.
Join us again for another episode of The One That Got Away.
This is a Nailsin News Bulletin.
Man went to McDonald's after running over and killing woman in front of her husband while they were out house hunting. An Arizona man robbed a woman, then ran her over with his Lexus in front of her husband, killing the 66-year-old after pretending to find a key he claimed he dropped at a grocery store. Ali Akami, I don't know, 23, went to McDonald's after the June 20th slaying and attempted to use the victim's credit cards to buy fast food for himself and two juveniles. So this was all to get a free lunch. Man, police say the woman was run over in front of a house in Glendale that she and her husband were about to tour to potentially buy it. Hakami allegedly pulled up as they were... So he's... I thought he stole their car. Fast food. Ran him over with his... Oh, no, his Lexus. All right. He just wanted her credit card to buy some McDonald's. Weird. Anyway, they were preparing to get out of their car and lured the woman to his vehicle with the dropped key story. The driver and sole occupant of the maroon Lexus, Akemi, told the victim that he had seen them at Fry's and that they dropped a key. The victim exited her vehicle from the front passenger seat and approached the front passenger seat of the maroon Lexus being driven by the suspect. Police say there was a language barrier as the victim and her husband speak Cantonese. The woman lifted her purse to look at her keys, and that's allegedly when Hakami lunged at her and grabbed the handbag. They struggled over retention of the purse. The Hakimi sped away in his vehicle while clutching the woman's bag. The victim was holding on to the purse when the suspect fled, causing her to be dragged under the rear wheels of the vehicle. After Hakimi's arrest, a prosecutor said in court that the suspect ran over the elderly female victim in front of her husband from head to toe. There were tire marks on her head, the prosecutor reportedly said. Well, Hakimi, whatever the hell, was later tracked down by police at a McDonald's, where he was seen attempting to buy food. Surveillance footage allegedly shows him using an ordering kiosk and attempting to pay with the victim's credit or debit card. The card was declined, so Hakimi went back to his Lexus and went through the drive-thru. Citing, according to the police, citing statements made by the juveniles who were with him. Authorities detained Hakimi after he purchased food with cash, so it was all for nothing. He claimed during interviews that he was kidnapped earlier in the day by an unidentified male who asked him for a ride to a gas station. While driving to the gas station, the unknown male subject pulled out a knife and showed Ali a gun. Ali was then stripped naked and zip-tied with his wrists and ankles bound before being placed in the trunk. Hakimi alleged that while in the trunk, he heard his kidnapper rob and run over the 66-year-old victim. The woman said, "Stop, stop, stop," in English, before Ali heard the vehicle run over the woman. The vehicle sped away and came to a stop in a dirt alley near the McDonald's. Hakimi allegedly told police that his kidnapper cut him with a knife before letting him go and gave him his clothing back. He said he was scared because the man threatened him, so he did not call the police. Ali instead located his two juvenile friends who were walking to get food and gave them a ride to McDonald's. Per Ali, the juvenile's parents gave them a credit card to go get food. This was the credit card he attempted to use at the McDonald's. Hakimi allegedly maintained that he neither ran over nor robbed the woman. Investigators located property belonging to the victim inside his vehicle, including her purse, credit cards, cell phone, and a necklace. While Hakimi did have a cut on his hand that he claimed came from his kidnapper, police contacted his family, and his own mother informed investigators that Hakimi had cut his hand the day prior when a mirror broke. Investigators also allegedly found evidence, including surveillance and ring footage, linking Hakimi to another robbery of a woman he followed home from a bank. Police say he saw her withdrawing $5,000 in cash and then took her purse. The defendant is an extreme danger to the community, the local prosecutor said in court about Hakimi. He engaged in a string of robberies, two at least, where he preyed upon elderly victims. Hakimi is charged with first-degree murder and robbery in connection with the two alleged attacks. So I gather they didn't buy the story that there was a mysterious kidnapper who just decided, you know what? I'm going to kidnap this guy, strip him naked, tie him up, and throw him in the trunk, and then go commit a robbery to get, a credit card out of some old lady. And, I ran her over, so I decided to just forget the whole thing and cut him loose and then gave him his clothes back. He forgot to put the detail in there. The plan would only work if the guy said, "Wow, this Hakimi guy looks just like me." He'd be a perfect dupe, and I could put all the blame on him. Maybe that was it. Yeah. So that's why whatever witnesses like the woman's husband said, "Yeah, that's the guy." I said, "No, some guy who looked like me. He was a kidnapper, and he runs around framing people who look like him so that he could steal a debit card for McDonald's." Well, I guess the original kidnapper was not after McDonald's. He says the juveniles, McDonald's was their idea. He just, after that ordeal of having been kidnapped and, oh my God, what the hell was that all about? Then he runs into these kids and says, "Hey, we're hungry. We want to go to McDonald's." And he's like, "Yeah, all right. You know what? I'm kind of hungry myself." Because, being stripped naked, tied up, and thrown in a trunk, you do develop an appetite. Yeah. Well, I guess that didn't hold up. So I don't know if he's going to go with that defense when he goes to trial. But seeing as how they charged him and everything, well, they clearly don't believe it. They really don't.
This has been a Nailsin News Bulletin. The views and opinions expressed during the Mr. Nailsin Show do not necessarily reflect those held by RadioMisfits.com. So, any complaints and or comments should be sent to @Mr. Nailsin on Twitter, where they will be promptly ignored and or blocked.